Hi, I'm Dave Carlson and welcome to Northland Adventures. As long as I've been part of the loon country, I've been fascinated by these birds. I, like others, asking, where do they go? How healthy are they? How long will they survive in our changing environment? Symbols of the North. Common loon habitat once stretched as far south as Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and Iowa. U.S. adult common loon population is estimated at 29,000 to 37,000, largest numbers in Alaska and Minnesota. Wisconsin with 3,100 adults. A team of Wisconsin researchers assembles for 4 weeks early summer, as they have for about 20 years. In pitch dark, their powerful spotlights distracting adults and chicks alike so they can be netted and moved ashore for sampling, where the team will attach identification bands to detect impacts from global climate change, pollution, population shifts, and disease.
We got the male and one chick. This year, for the first time, we had some small seepage lakes abandoned, and it's primarily because of the low water levels. But in most of the other loon habitat, we're seeing an increase in territories. We're seeing, for instance, on a lake where we used to have 1 or 2 pair, we now might find 2 or 3. So by and large, it seems the population is increasing.
18 adult loons out of dozens trapped and banded this year also get a geolocator, which enables the team to gather information daily.
And they take a reading of the location of the bird, as well as some other habitat information, how deep they're diving and what the water temperature on a daily basis for a year. They store it, and we need to retrieve it from the loon the next year. So we need to recapture the bird to retrieve the little data logger.
Once banded, the loons return to the same lakes and become part of a growing information gathering network about its changing world. Loons have long been associated with the North Country, a symbol of wildness. Today, the southernmost tip of their range is cranberry country in central Wisconsin. Loons have resided on the Olson family cranberry marsh east of Warrens, Wisconsin for about 15 years.
And it's been a great joy.
And initially, I thought they were just passing through, resting, and then going north in Wisconsin. But lo and behold, they stayed and nested, and then came back every spring. As soon as the ice goes off the pond, they're here.
Well, the water is fairly dark. It's tannic acid in the water. However, it's fairly clean.
2 together, maybe the baby and the female. Kurt, would the baby be diving yet?
Generally, they just look underwater. There's fish available for them to eat, and there aren't many motorized boats, so they aren't really disturbed that much.
Is this a fairly unusual phenomenon?
In the last 4 to 5 years, there seem to be more and more loons that have been nesting on neighboring cranberry operations.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's the fish population. Also, the water is clean, and the birds can see in the water to catch the fish, and it's a number of things probably coming together. Maybe more loons.
What are your observations, Louise, about the loons?
I guess I didn't realize how social they were. They love socializing with each other. And so early in the morning, they come together on our pond here and swimming in a circle, 7 adults. And then about 6 a.m., they all fly off in different directions, going back to their nesting sites or the ponds and lakes they have claimed. And I guess nothing we like better than sitting out on the bench in front of the pond at night and hearing them call. Hearing that call in the spring, it really is a wonderful event for us.
Kevin Keno of the U.S. Geological Survey's Sciences Center at La Crosse, Wisconsin, has inventoried more than 80 central Wisconsin waters.
We're surveying over a 13-county area, including 85 lakes and reservoirs And of those areas, we found loons using about 36 and loon nesting on actually 16 of those. And we've been tracking the fate of those nests.
Historically, were these loons there?
Historically, common loons nested as far south as the northern tier of counties in Illinois and throughout southern Wisconsin. And their range has slowly been pushed north.
Pushed north, why?
Well, changes in lake water quality, shoreline development, possibly predator populations, and at the turn of the century we find nesting records throughout southern Wisconsin, including Madison Lake areas, but since the 1920s or so they have not been nesting there.
Back in northern Wisconsin, Doug Killian assists with sampling on the loons he's netted for Mike Meyer. In his 8th season, Killian has netted all but 2 of the some 98 birds he's gone after this summer, and to date he's helped capture and ban nearly 1,000 loons. Over the years, how many birds have been banded?
Between our team and Walter Piper, who's a colleague in Oneida County, 2,500 loons have been banded.
How many of those might still be around? Because I know they can live to be quite old.
Yeah, we still have some birds that we banded in 1991 coming back to the same territories. Some of them are at least 23 years old now. And we've had probably reobservations this year of at least 150, but we don't get to all of the lakes that we banded loons at, so it's a sample. But we assume that every year about 92% of the birds that we banded come back to the same lake.
How about hatching success?
It goes up and down year to year. This year it's looking like it's going to be a relatively poor year. We had a good hatch in the first nest attempts, but the second nest attempt appears to be less productive. And quite a few loon chicks, not a huge number, but a large, significant number have been lost after they've hatched. Last year, for the first time, we documented at least 3 adult loons killed on the nest by bald eagles.
What about loon losses to watercraft wave action?
How serious a problem is it?
Well, just a little case in point, we were supposed to be on Plum Lake tonight. I went out there last night to look for the loon family, and I talked to the Creel census clerk who pulled the loon chick body out of the water about a week ago. He said it was in a bay with a lot of jet ski activity in the afternoon. He tried to shoo the family to shore, but an hour later he came back and found the loon chick dead. So in that circumstance, it seems that that chick could have been victim of watercraft. The high wave action caused by a lot of large water boats can swamp some nests on occasion. So folks need to be conscious of where loon nests are and their impacts.
Funding for this loon banding project, amounting to about $100,000 annually, is provided by a consortium of government agencies and electric utilities through the Focus on Energy project. Citizen gathered data from about 80 individuals, estimated to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars annually by the researchers, plus the Sigurd Olson Institute's Loon Watch program. Lakeshore residents monitoring loons round out the loon management and study in Wisconsin.
As the project is developed into a long-term project as it is, it's developed more stature as far as its science value, and that's a primary motivator right now.
When we return, a wide